U Sports on CBC, brought to you in part by les championnats U Sport. Vous êtes présenté par the Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings, le fournisseur exclusif des bagues des championnats U Sport. Nike Team, just do it, faites-le. Veriburn, medical supply partner of varsity athletics since 1979. Partenaire de sport universitaire depuis 1979. Fox 40, celebrating a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport depuis 10 ans. Wilson, U Sports Official Basketball, le ballon officiel de U Sport.
The scene is set. 4 exciting days of basketball, and here we are. It is the number 1 seed Rams, the number 3 seed Winnipeg Wesmen. Overtime was what the Rams needed to knock off Brock. Winnipeg was taken to the limit against the Queens Gales and emerged 2-point victors. Who will hoist the bronze baby? Will it be the Rams for the first time in school history, or the Winnipeg Wesmen, who haven't won it since 1995? Tip-off is coming up after this quick timeout. You're watching the 2022 U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship game on CBC.
The most successful people in life share one thing in common.
They all put themselves in a position to thrive.
Surrounded by people who challenge them to think bigger.
And communities that support them at every turn.
In the classroom.
And way outside of it.
If you want to set yourself up for success.
If you want to give yourself the tools to achieve any goal.
There's no better place to begin than Queens.
We challenge.
We support.
You succeed.
You'll be great, no matter where you go.
But your greatest story starts right here.
Hey, it's me. I arrived back near our old place, and it feels almost the same as the day we left. So I drifted out, just wandering through memories. And it reminded me that this place is us, part of who we are. And I can feel it everywhere. I can't wait until you get here.
This quarter of U Sports Basketball is brought to you by Ce quart de basketball vous est présenté par Wilson, le ballon officiel de U Sport, U Sports Official Basketball.
You can see both teams coming towards center court. Just about ready to tip this one off. Rams in the dark uniforms, Winnipeg in the white. And we're ready to go. The championship game is underway. Steve Clark, Roseanne Jolie, bringing you all the analysis and all of the action. A celebration of basketball. It's the Wesmen who control the tip. Up top it goes Hezekiah for three, and that's no good. Miralevich with the rebound. She's joined by Ben Edward, Giles, Farwell, and Dodig on the floor. And the first two will go to the Rams on a drive from the left side by Farwell. Kiana Giles, ironically the sister of Kia Giles, starts for Winnipeg along with Kernahan, Filowich, Boulanger, and Hezekiah. Here's Filowich with a turnaround. That's her area, and we're all tied up at 2.
It is her area, and it is the advantage for Winnipeg, and it's definitely not the last time that we will see Filowich touch the ball.
Ryerson starting off very well on offense. A three-pointer knocked down by Michaela Dodig, making it 5-2. The Rams very much like to distribute their scoring. Their leading scorer only 11.4 points per game during the regular season as Ryerson gets a steal. And that was Farwell who just hit that first basket. Dodig set up outside, and Farwell is feeling it. An early 8-2 Rams lead.
She is feeling it. She hadn't had a great game so far in the tournament, but she is the leading scorer for Ryerson in this season so far with 5 points.
Kiana Giles up top. Hezekiah left elbow in, sealed off, fouled on the play. And that's the first whistle for a foul of the game. What do you see here, Roseanne, as some of the keys to victory for both teams?
It's not a surprise that Winnipeg wants to play inside the key. They have the advantage there. Ryerson, who have 5 good guards on the floor, so a more regular way of playing basketball for Winnipeg with the bigs inside, but a more innovative way from Ryerson this season.
All is out of bounds. Good look at Jamal Ben Edward, who had 17 points in the overtime victory against Brock yesterday, in which Ryerson outscored the Badgers 10-2 in overtime. Halfway through the shot clock for the Rams. And Dodig will pick up her dribble. Here's Kia Giles, spot up, three-pointer, bit strong. Rebound ripped down by Filowich. And Filowich was very effective yesterday. 9 rebounds along with her 22 points. Handoff, Giles spots up, and Kiana Giles is on the board as she buries a 3.
Giles was also 2 for 2 from the three-point line yesterday in the semifinal.
So both teams got the offensive working boots on here in the early going. Rams will work the perimeter. Here's Dodig picking up her dribble. Farwell, ball on the floor, knocked out of her hands.
I believe it is the first time Ryerson in this tournament playing against a 2-3 zone. Something they hadn't seen so far. Maybe it took them a little while to figure that out.
1 second on the shot clock for the Rams. They lob it inside, and even though the basket was scored by Ben Edward, will they count that basket? It looks like they did count that basket. It looked like it went off maybe after the buzzer.
That's what I thought as well, Steve.
Strong drive in by Giles, and she gets fouled on the play. Kiana Giles, education student. Kia Giles is a politics and governance student. And both are outstanding for their team. Kiana strong on the first one. She averaged 17 a game with 8.4 rebounds and 5.3 assists in the regular season. Had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists versus Queens as she gets 1 out of 2 from the line. Stepping up, Kernahan with some defensive pressure. Oh my goodness, Farwell is feeling it in the early going. She's already got 8 points. And Roseanne, as Filowich drives in, held ball. We've seen shooters get hot at different points here in this tournament.
Yes, and it's the first time for Rachel, and I'm not surprised because that's what she's good at. She hasn't been able to hit them early on in the tournament, but you should still consider her a shooter, and even more now after making 2 in a row.
Early timeout from Winnipeg here, Roseanne, and already 13 points up on the board for the Rams. My guess is Tanya McKay in the Winnipeg huddle might be preaching a little more defense from her team.
That's what I thought as well. You can tell that they're getting good looks for the Rams, even off of a sideline and a bounce with only a second left on the shot clock. That could have been easily defended, especially from Falowich on the other side of the key. But nonetheless, they are doing okay on the offensive side. Maybe her coach is going to remind them to keep playing through the inside first and go draw those fouls.
Rams coasted in the first game. They won by 31 against UPEI, stretched to the limit against Brock, won by 8 in overtime. Winnipeg scored 35 points in the first quarter of their quarterfinal game against Laval en route to a 14-point victory, and just nipped Queens by 2 points in a semifinal that had so many twists and turns. Probably the most exciting game of the tournament. The hometown Gales, by the way, are bronze medalists after defeating Brock earlier today. Working the perimeter, Ben Edward for 3, no. Filowich with the clear. And up the floor, Van Dyck pressed into the game early for the Wesmen. Left side, here's Anna Kernahan. Up top, Boulanger. Great backdoor cut by Dick, but it was picked off on a better defensive play by Farwell. Farwell with the ball, spotting up, and that one was an air ball. Stick back is good, though, from Ben Edwards.
That's bad luck for Winnipeg. It's always hard to rebound when it's an air ball, but good for Gemma for being in the right spot.
Rams doing all the little things. They're rebounding offensively, hitting threes early. Kernahan driving in, fouled on the play. And will go to the line to get 2 shots. Eleanor Jones checking into the game. Actually, they call that foul on the floor. Kernahan inbound, almost stolen away. Here's Kiana Giles working her way in, but surrounded by the Rams defense. And here's Michaela Dodig. Jones will work it around. Ben Edwards picking up her dribble. Farwell left baseline, pass to Jones too low. Ben Edwards with 7 on the shot clock. Across they go, Farwell catch and shoot. That one is off. Out of bounds, it will go to Winnipeg. A better defensive stance, Roseanne, by the Wesmen.
Yes, they fixed a little bit of their 2-3 zone, so they didn't allow any non-contested shot, although Farewell has a very quick release that could have easily go in for her.
So here's Kiana Giles. Right side, Hezekiah spinning. Little pump fake, and she scores 2 on the inside.
Not surprised. Hezekiah had such a great game yesterday, and also in the quarterfinals with 26 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. She's definitely the player to go to, as well as Phil Witch.
Great cut. But the shot was missed. Wesmen looking to climb back into the game, and Hezekiah has to deal with some fierce defending by Eve Wiesu. Filowich, 2 on the shot clock. That's out of her range. She does force it up, and it's no good. Jones with the rebounds. Dodig will reset the offense. Ben Edwards, Dodig, they'll work the ball around. Wiesu coming in, kicks it out. Ben Edward for 3, wide open, just a bit strong on it. And Kernahan with the rebound. Great pace to this game in the early going, and the referees so far are letting them settle it on the court. Few whistles right now. Fade away from the left baseline is up, and it's good. Looked like Kiana Giles on that jump shot. Dodig, left elbow, spots up, and that's too easy. She knocks it down.
It is too easy, you're right. She loves that pull-up, especially close to the free throw line.
Three-pointer up and no good from Kiana Giles. Good battle for the rebound. Good look at Eleanor Jones, 6'2". Wesman ball, 14 on the shot clock, underneath the basket. Boulanger will inbound the ball. Filowich dealing with Jones and will step out of bounds. It looked like there was a bit of contact there, not called. It's Rams ball.
Ryerson is doing a very good job defensively to contain the athlete of the year, Filowich, or Winnipeg is not patient enough for her to establish good position.
Giles with a good steal, or Filowich with a good steal, getting it to Giles, who tumbles to the floor. The ball is batted around. They scramble for it, but diving on it. The Rams player really sacrificing and slow to get up. It looked like Milvaljevich was at the bottom of that pile. Wesman ball. That's championship basketball, though, isn't it, Roseanne? You dive on the floor for any ball you see.
Exactly. That's what you really expect from these athletes, especially when they reach the gold medal final.
Here's Kiana Giles, works off 2 screens, but got denied on the inside by that long reach of Jones. Back up the floor, the Rams wanted to run, but that all broke down. Got the ball back as Dodig was able to claim it, and Michaela Dodig, up top it goes. Miljevich will work it around. Kaylee Hall, Miljevich. 2 on the shot clock, and a shot clock violation as the ball rolls out of bounds.
It's too
More good
bad
defense,
possession.
Roseanne.
Yes, again, I was about to say that it's 2 bad offensive positions for Ryerson now, and it will be better for them to slow it down the next chance they have.
So Winnipeg, who have eclipsed 80 points in the quarterfinal and semifinal, only have 10 so far as they trail the Rams by 7. Hezekiah's 3 is no good. Jones with the clear. Dodig with the push. On the left side, Miljevic up top. Dodig, 10 on the shot clock. Hall sees a little bit of daylight but missed the shot after trying to bank it off the glass. Filowich up ahead of the play, no numbers, so she pulls it back out. Kiana Giles, Boulanger, right side. Ball on the floor, 10 on the shot clock, 8-second differential, shot clock and game clock. 3 is no good, and the Rams can hold for the last shot. Dodig, wide open, they left her, and she buries it.
As she will if she's left completely open.
And we have got a quarter in the books here at Queens. Rams 20, Wesmen 10. Right now, every year youth sports women's basketball programs come from across the country in support of breast cancer research and awareness via Shoot for the Cure program. And heading onto the court is the chair of the program, the University of New Brunswick's women's basketball head coach, Jeff Speedy. And this will be a Czech presentation. Great round of applause. Youth sports programs with this year's $125,000, 496 have raised $1.82 million to the Canadian Cancer Society and provincial programs since the program inception. Beginning Tuesday, you can make a donation to help grow this year's total by visiting www.shootforthecure.ca. Select the region your team resides in and make a contribution to their fundraising efforts. Second quarter is underway. First quarter, all Rams, 20-10 over the Wesmen. Farwell sealed off. Outside it goes. Kick out. Wiesu in the corner, spotting up for 3, and it is good.
That was great patience and great ball movement from Ryerson.
As the Wesmen bring the ball up, Roseanne, thoughts on what they need to do to establish a presence in this game?
On the Winnipeg side, again, and they just proved it right here, it's really going inside. They have Hezekiah, who's a strong presence inside. They have Filowich, who's also a strong presence inside. And we saw it in the second half of the semifinal when finally went back to it. That's where they were very dominant.
Wesmen ball underneath the basket. Filowich and Hezekiah combined for 48 points and 19 rebounds against Queens, as Filowich is fouled as she was jousting with Jones in the low post. And Hezekiah also hit 5 3-pointers. Ulanger, Hezekiah spots up for three. It was online but short. Giles! Count the baskets and the foul as she rebounded it and put it right back in. And that was great work inside, Roseanne, by Kiana Giles.
Yes, that's the type of player she is. Not only she can have that contribution on the offensive side, she did finish with 13 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists in yesterday's game, but it's the little things, going after every rebound, jumping, going on the floor for all the loose balls. She's great on both sides of the floor.
Completing the three-point play, the transfer from the University of Regina. Rams back up the floor. Jones spots up at the left elbow. They'll work it. Jamal bin Edward driving, kicking, little baseline jumper doesn't go. Emiljajevic. Giles back up the floor. Just pulls it up and shoots the jumper off the front rim. This time, offensive rebound is pulled down by Uwama Badajina-Mata. Entry pass, Filowich, she's triple teamed. And they're gonna call violation, 3 seconds in the key and the turnover.
I like it when Winnipeg give the ball to Filowich off of movement and not when she's being triple teamed already before even getting the ball.
Kia Giles now matched up with her sister on the floor. Jamal bin Edward right on Filowich, sealed off, and then she threw the ball away, and it will go over to the Wesmen.
Yes, that will happen when it's a 2-3 zone. You can't create an open look for anyone, but you have to take advantage of maybe more movement on the offensive side.
Anna Kernahan bringing the ball up for the Wesmen. Her team trailing by 10 just beyond the 2-minute mark of quarter number 2. Kernahan, there's a foul called on the play, and bin Edward has a bit of a perplexed look on her face as it was a foul, Roseanne, right on the perimeter.
She obviously doesn't agree with the foul, but she did have 2 hands on the body, and you're only allowed 1 point of contact.
Kernahan with the ball. Hezekiah, she can work inside and outside, and that time she worked inside with a little jumper from the block. Winnipeg starting to find a little bit more offensive rhythm now. Stop and go move. Waisu, bin Edward, Waisu for 3. That's an air ball, and the rebound right into the hands of Hezekiah. Hezekiah feeling it. That one off front rim, though, no good. Michaela Dodig with the push. Gets the Jones screen to work with. Nowhere to go, though. Arwayesu. Jumper. Up and no good. Milvajevic with that try.
The defensive structure right now for Winnipeg is giving a hard time to Ryerson. They never know if they're going to be against a 2-3 zone or against a man-to-man.
Out of bounds, it will remain with Winnipeg. 6:49 to go in the second quarter. A timeout on the floor. Winnipeg, Roseanne, starting to find their game a little bit more.
A little bit more, I would agree with you. I don't think Hezekiah touched the ball as much as she should have in the first quarter, but now she is getting the ball from the short corner, from inside. She's shooting threes, and that's what you're expecting from her, and that's what the team needs to do. Filowich is attracting a lot of attention on the defensive side, which might give Hezekiah more opportunities. And she can hit those, right? 26 points yesterday with 10 rebounds. That's impressive.
Rams 23. Wesmen 15 for the right to hoist the bronze baby, Roseanne. It was clear when Saskatchewan got knocked out, we knew we'd have a new national champion. And boy, Winnipeg hasn't won it since 1995. The Rams have never won it. So a big moment for both of these schools possibly awaits. And, you know, go ahead.
It certainly is. And I'm very excited for this game. I mean, I think it could go either way. I don't want to be too biased because I coach in Ontario, but I honestly believe that these two teams deserve to be in final.
Fifth time for the Rams since Carly Clark joined the program in her 9th season. Silver medalist back in 2015-16. Three-pointer up and no good from Kernahan. And the ball will go back over to the Rams. Another great crowd on hand here at the Arc on the campus of Queen's University. Great cut to the basket by Hall. Worked around, trying to pull it up, and blocked was Dodig. And when Winnipeg wants to run, they led Filowich a little bit too much with that pass. Back come the Rams. Wiesu banks off the glass. No. Jones with the offensive rebound and a chance to reset. Dodig, entry pass. Jones up and under. Big block by Filowich, but they will call the foul. And how about that post move by Jones challenging?
Yes, very good up and under. And good patience by Ryerson as well after an offensive rebound. Hall was open for maybe a mid-range shot, but she decided to give it back to Dodig, and then it went back in.
Jones, who hails from Ayr, Scotland, as a transfer from the University of Colorado Boulder, gets 1 out of 2 foul shots. Here's Anna Kernahan. Jessica Van Dyck works it around. Kiana Giles for 3, that's short. And Jones hustles to track down the rebounds. Here's Kia Giles. Kaylee Hall. Ben Edward for 3, and it is good.
I believe she's 1 for 3 right now from the three-point line. She did go 0 for 5 in the game yesterday, but ended up making the 3 to start the overtime. Dama is maybe not very confident from the three-point line, but you cannot leave her wide open.
Rams with their largest lead of the evening. Filowich fights out of a double team, goes to the fadeaway off glass, and gets it to go. Back up the floor, pulling it up and shooting 3. No good. That was Dodig. Rebound out of bounds. Here's a look at that shot, Roseanne.
It is miscommunication with the 2-3 zone. It's hard sometimes when the ball is at the free throw line extension. You never really know who's supposed to be covering that ball.
Kia Giles' pass for Jones is intercepted. Wesmen with the push up the floor. Kernahan, Hezekiah. Sweep through, right elbow and in, and they will call the foul on the play. Kia Giles, smile on her face, as I don't think she's feeling as good as that smile after committing the foul.
No, and now it's bonus for Winnipeg, so that can be dangerous in the second quarter. But again, you know, the possession before this one, it was a touch by Falowich for 2 points, and now we're giving it back to Hezekiah, and she's at the free throw line. These two players are the players to watch.
So Winnipeg in the bonus with 4:26 to go in the second quarter. Hezekiah missed the first one. Winnipeg really struggled from the line last night. They were just 8 for 19 as Hezekiah gets 1 out of 2. Pressure shown by the Wesmen. Hall, down low, Jones, touch pass. Beautiful basketball played by the Rams. And going to the line is Kaylee Hall after being fouled by Jillian Duncan. So Roseanne, give us a little bit of a sense of what you have to do to break the pressure and the trap that was used by Winnipeg there.
It's to inbound the ball as fast as possible. The Ryerson have mostly guards on their team. They shouldn't be scared of that pressure, but when it's the first time you see it in the game, it's kind of normal to struggle, but now they should be prepared the next time.
Here's Kiana Giles working up top against her sister. Duncan, kick out. Giles, pump fake, driving, entry pass. Beautiful feed inside, and it's an easy 2 for Duncan. Wyesu driving in. She'll pass it underneath. Hall driving, kick out. A little trouble handling for Miljevich. Three-pointer by Owesu is up and it's no good. Rebound, boy, great job of rebounding by Kaylee Hall. She gets fouled on the play and will get 2 shots from the line.
It's unfortunate because that was a great defensive position by Winnipeg. You can even hear the bench engage and telling their teammates what to do and giving them energy to play defense. But then when you allow a second chance opportunity, and now she's heading to the free throw line, that is really unfortunate.
Kaylee Hall, transfer from Bowling Green State of the NCAA, averaged just shy of 9 a game in the regular season. Gets both of her foul shots, and the Rams back out to a double-digit lead, 30-20. Great trap break, but then beautiful block coming back on Filowich, and it will go over to the Rams. Wyesu came all the way back to alter that Filowich shot.
He did, and now it's 2 fouls for Filowich. He did play 20 minutes in that first half in the semifinals, so I'm not sure the coach will want her off the floor.
Filowich with the steal. Back up the floor, Boulanger. Hezekiah isolated. Pulls up with the jumper. No. Wyesu up the floor, gets the return feed. Miljevich. Three-pointer is up, and it's just a bit strong from Farwell. Offensive rebound. Stuck back, though, and missed. That was Dodig. Left baseline, sealed off. Tried to skip it along the baseline. Got it to Hall. Great spin by Hall, and she hits the jumper. And now Winnipeg finding it tough sledding offensively. Collision there by Miljevich and Hezekiah. Hezekiah driving in, off glass, no. All with the rebound. Rams want to run. Hall ahead of the play. Finishing in transition, the biggest lead of the half for Winnipeg. A 14-point advantage for the Rams. And Winnipeg, Roseanne, wants to call a timeout.
Yes, and they had to. They're allowing way too many second chances, opportunities, and in the last possession, they allowed 2, which is giving a lot of energy for the Rams, but it is tiring to spend over 30 seconds on defense for Winnipeg, right? And then it's taking away your transition as well. So definitely a good timeout taken by Winnipeg coach.
Want to make sure everybody knows about the call to action. Website is live as we speak. You can donate now at shootforthecure.ca. So get right on that, support a great cause. You saw the ceremony in between quarters here and all the money that's been raised for cancer research. And Roseanne, Winnipeg, they need to finish this half strong or they're in real trouble.
They have to, and they have the potential to do it. They just have to slow it down a little bit more on offense. And last game, they had a great play to get the ball to Filowich off of movement. Maybe they just have to get back to that.
So back out of the timeout, Wesmen with the ball. Kiana Giles. Hezekiah. Little bit of isolation for Hezekiah. And we'll get a whistle, 2 seconds on the shot clock, as it looked like the Wesmen got bailed out a little bit. Melvaljevich will put Hezekiah on the line. First shot is up and it's good. The one thing, Roseanne, this Wesmen team, they're a very veteran team, so even though they find themselves down in double figures, I don't think they'll be rattled by that.
No, and they shouldn't, because the basketball long is very long, and we've seen it in the past. We've seen in playoffs, provincial playoffs, with teams down between 15 to 20 points and making a comeback. So they cannot quit just yet.
Rams back up the floor. Hall, kick out, wide open. 3 from Melvaljevich is no good. Hall with the rebound, but left that way short. And then we'll get a rebounding foul against Winnipeg. Melvaljevich working very hard underneath the basket.
I was just about to
Wesmen
say
ball.
that sorry about that, Steve. I was just about to say we hadn't seen that full court pressure by Ryerson yet. Well, we'll see if they're about to put it on.
Approaching the last minutes here of the first half. Entry pass is a tough one from Hezekiah. She worked to get in, traveled with the ball, and will give it back to the Rams.
Boulanger is also a great tool for Winnipeg. She's a great three-point shooter. She finished yesterday's games with 13 points, 9 rebounds, and she was 3 for 8 from the threes. They are thinking it defensively, the Rams, allowing maybe an open 3 for Boulanger at some point.
Steele, Kernahan, push, Hezekiah driving, feeling the contact. Jones stepped up. Melvaljevich stepped up and they denied Hezekiah. It's out of bounds to the Wesmen. Kernahan to inbound the ball. They lob it inside to Filowich. He gets isolated against Jones. Goes to the fadeaway, fouled on the play, and will get 2 shots from the line. And Filowich, Roseanne, knows how to score the basketball and to create contact and get herself to the line.
Yes, it's something she does very well. She struggled at the free throw line this weekend so far, but at least she's able to make the first one right now.
Friendly shooter's role will help out. Ryerson gave up 49 points to UPEI in the first game, 56 to Brock. And that game went to overtime in the second game. And you could see their suffocating defense has limited Winnipeg to 24 so far. Will Ryerson play 2 for 1 or be conservative on offense here? Oasu, Dodig, Oasu, just inside the left elbow, lobs it inside, and they're going to call a double dribble down low. It was a tough catch for Melvaljevich. 23 seconds left. Shot clock right now is off. Winnipeg can generate some much-needed momentum with a score here on the last possession. Kernahan to the basket. Lost it. Blocked by Jamal bin Edwards. It'll remain with Winnipeg. 6 seconds to go. 5.8 to be exact in the first half. Kernahan to inbound the ball. Lots of movement. They go inside, and Hezekiah with 2 more. And that will do it for the first half of play. Rams have been front runners all half long, and they've had a double-digit lead for much of the second quarter. That's where we are right now. 34-24, Rams lead the Wesmen. Halftime coming up. You're watching the 2022 U Sports Women's Final Basketball Championship game on CBC.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries. Avec les frites restaurant-style de Cavendish, c'est pas compliqué de transformer votre cuisine en resto.
Halftime, and it is the Rams 34 and the Wesmen 24. Last week, U Sports announced their top 8 academic All-Canadians, presented by Charette Coos, the creme de la creme of university athletics. It's time to meet another one of them.
I think what makes a U Sports athlete elite is that they pursue high academics at the same time as pursuing high athletic endeavors. So you have to have a lot of drive, a lot of commitment. A lot of times, like midterm season and paper season is the same time as championship seasons. You have to balance all of that, and U Sports athletes do an amazing job pursuing both of those things at the highest level. So I definitely think U Sports athletes are elite. I think to be an elite student athlete, you definitely need to have a lot of internal motivation to want to succeed both academically and athletically. But I also think you need to have a really great support system, like your friends, your professors, your coaches, your family. You need a lot of people behind you to kind of help you when you need it and be there for you when you're not having such a great week, and be proud of you when you are having a good week, because it just kind of allows you to succeed. I think there's a lot of people that have helped me the most during my university career. One of those would be my parents, because they always support me and watch my races and give me a pat on the back, even if I do a bad job. But also, I think my coach, Eric Gillis, would definitely be an important person. He really helped me like dream big and show me the path that I need to take in order to perform at the youth sports level. And then even just teammates that I had when I was a first and second year athlete that kind of were mentors for me and showed me how to have like a balanced student athlete life and succeed both academically and athletically while also keeping your mental health. That's definitely important. My best piece of advice for student athletes wanting to succeed in the youth sports level would definitely be to have balance and to give yourself lots of rest, because you really need to have a strong like mental health first. You need to be happy and you need to be healthy, and you can't have either of those things if you're not looking after yourself and having rest and balance. And then once you have those things under control, then you can try and succeed academically and athletically. So yeah, definitely strong support system, taking rest days whenever you need them. Don't be afraid to have extra rest days. And you know, some weeks you might focus more on academics, some weeks you might focus more on athletics, some weeks you might not focus on either. You might just focus on hanging out with your friends and taking time for yourself. All of those things are important. It's about having balance. I think for balancing sports and academic schedules, it's very important to get into routine as much as you can. It's helpful having the team because after practices, you can go to the library together and study and work on homework. Or if you're going to an away game, you can do homework in the hotel together. Some people do homework on the bus. I'm really bad at doing that. I would always fall asleep. But just trying to stay on top of things, like as soon as the syllabus comes out, put all of the deadlines into your Google Calendar and do as much ahead of the time as you can. I definitely didn't have it all figured out. Even though I was an academic All-Canadian, I still am a really bad procrastinator. But just doing your best and having those teammates holding you accountable to go to the library after practice, even if you just want to go sleep. My esports experience has definitely helped prepare me for my next step in my career, as I do work as a nurse on the medical floor and I'll soon be working on the ICU, because you definitely need to know how to multitask, which is something I learned trying to balance academics and athletics. And you always need to be on the move. You need to be able to focus in a high pressure situation. All of those things I learned through sport and through doing sport and academics at the same time. And it's definitely helped me. Even just being on my feet for 12 hours, having that endurance from running, it definitely helps. So I really think that being a youth sports student athlete has helped me succeed in my nursing career.
Get the stories behind the glory. Watch, listen, stream, read CBC Sports.
Hey, you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
this season. Catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliant. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
The most successful people in life share one thing in common.
They all put themselves in a position to thrive.
Surrounded by people who challenge them to think bigger.
And communities that support them at every turn.
In the classroom.
And way outside of it.
If you want to set yourself up for success.
If you want to give yourself the tools to achieve any goal.
There's no better place to begin than Queens.
We challenge.
We support.
You succeed.
You'll be great, no matter where you go.
But your greatest story starts right here.
U Sports on CBC, brought to you in part by les championnats U Sport. Vous êtes présenté par the Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. Barron, exclusive supplier of U Sports Championship rings, le fournisseur exclusif des bagues des championnats U Sport. Nike Team, just do it, faites-le. Veriburn, medical supply partner of varsity athletics since 1979. Partenaire de sport universitaire depuis 1979. Fox 40, celebrating a decade of the Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year program. Fier partenaire des prix de l'entraîneur de l'année U Sport depuis 10 ans. Wilson, U Sports Official Basketball, le ballon officiel de U Sport. This quarter of U Sports Basketball is brought to you by Ce quart de basketball vous est présenté par Wilson, le ballon officiel de U Sport, U Sports Official Basketball.
Teams going through their warm-up paces before the second half. Rams 34, Wesmen 24. Steve Clark with Roseanne Jolie. And Roseanne, what have you seen with the Rams on the offensive side of things?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. My mic was turned off.
That's okay.
Rams really did take advantage of all the little mistakes made by Winnipeg. Whether it's second chances, opportunities, the Rams are really crashing the boards and getting that second chance opportunity and heading to the free throw line. But they also took advantage of the miscommunication in Winnipeg's 2-3 zone.
So, with that in mind, 20 minutes for Winnipeg to figure it out. Can they figure it out, and what do they have to do?
That's what it seems like. Both teams didn't play each other in the season. The Rams, who are playing a different style than maybe what they've seen in their province, Canada West. But hopefully they are able to go inside a little bit more. And I know that's the focus of the Rams defense, to not allow Filowich to touch the ball. But then when she does, they are bringing a lot of defensive players inside the key, and we have to be able to find the open player on the weak side.
Filowich, just to back up that point, only 4 shots in the first half. Clearly, more touches are needed for her.
More touches, and I mentioned it a few times, it seems like she would need to catch the ball off of movement, right? Before there's someone doubling down or when they're tripling down. And they did that well in the semifinals yesterday. So I hope we will see more of that in the second half.
This has been pretty typical Rams basketball, though. 4 players total with at least 7 points, and that's what they do best, distribute the scoring.
This is a team effort, and it's been all year long. They did lose one of their good athletes, Marin, who suffered a ACL tear. But Jama was able to step up, and Dodig was able to step up as soon as that happened, and that's what shows what a veteran team that they are.
That's Marin Scotton, the 4th-year guard who averaged over 11 a game. Good start for the Rams as we get the second half underway. Kia Giles with that shot. Back come the Wesmen. Shot partially altered. Dodig with the push. Backdoor feed. Miljevich. They'll work it around. Jumper. Good! Farwell hits from the foul line. Precision transition offense. Filowich. Kernahan. Left elbow. She answers with a jump shot. Good start, Roseanne, for both teams to the second half.
For both teams, yes, and a handoff at the elbow is something very hard to defend, as you can see in this last possession.
Giles, kick out. Farwell for 3, halfway down and back up again. Out of bounds, it will remain with the blue and gold. Out of bounds and 14 on the clock. Dodig inbounds it. Miljevich. Farwell. Now it's Giles in the corner. Finn Edward for 3! Largest lead of the game for the Rams at 14 points.
And those are the miscommunications in the 2-3 zone. It seems like it was more of a 1-2-2 this time, but yet not knowing who's responsible for the free throw line extension and who's responsible for the corner.
Azakaya, backdoor play, rejected! What a beautiful defensive play by Ben Edward. Giles back up the floor, Dodig up top, Giles. They'll work it to Farwell. Giles, one more pass, Dodig for 3. No, who wants the rebound? And it was picked up by Uwambi-Jemana. Back up the floor, scoring 2 inside Kiana Giles. And Edward for Farwell. They get a little bit of their signals crossed. Loose ball on the floor. Looks like the arrow's going Winnipeg's way. So far, Roseanne, from the pace of the game, who do you see it favoring?
I would say that right now it is the pace that the Rams are used to play at. So it seems right now that it's going to be in favor of the Rams.
Pull up 3-pointer by Kiana Giles is no good, and they will tie up the rebound. Filowich and Miljevich. Arrow is going the Rams' way. And Filowich, Roseanne, looked a little frustrated on that tie-up.
Yes, of course she is. She was only, like you mentioned earlier, only able to take 4 field goals in the first half. That's not what she's used to.
Beautiful cut to the basket by Rachel Farwell, who's having herself a game. Back out to a 14-point lead for the Rams. Kernahan directing traffic. Filowich outside of her comfort zone. Ball on the floor. Now she uses the shoulder to get in. Hook shot is no good. And Miljevic will grab the rebounds. Push up the floor for Dodig. Skipped across. Giles for three. No, and Filowich with the clear. She wants to push, and it was knocked out of bounds at midcourt by Rachel Farwell. Timeout on the floor, 6:28 to go in the third quarter. Rams lead by 14. And the message in the timeout, Roseanne, for Winnipeg?
It's hard to tell, but what we just saw from the coach, it seems like she's just encouraging her team to play well. They are in the final. They deserve to be there. They are a great team. They have great tools. But right now, it's just to make sure that they're playing with confidence, and that's what's been the difference between the two teams. Is Ryerson is not afraid to take any shots. They're moving the ball. They're getting to the rim. They're going after every offensive rebounds. Those are just little things that Winnipeg has in store as well, but they haven't used them.
Well, there's lots of time left to go in this one. But the Rams, boy, they have come out. And I think, as you've said, the pace is to their liking. They're distributing the offense. This is pretty vintage Rams basketball right now.
Yes, correct. They are rather small, I would say. And they like playing at that speed. They like to play at that speed on both ends of the floor with that full court pressure, with a lot of ball pressure in the quarter-court defense, but pushing the ball in offense.
Wesman out of the timeout. Hezekiah and Edward guarding her. Boulanger. Filowich working hard now, ready to set a screen. Boulanger driving, underneath they go. And it's two inside. Good work by Jillian Duncan. Down to a 12-point lead. Miljevic down low, beautiful feed. Ben Edward has two more. Boulanger tried a little up and under move. Inside they go. Duncan, tough jumper, no. Rebound pulled down by Miljevic, and she's been very active defensively. Ben Edward, Miljevic sealed off. Up top, Giles works it. Farwell for three, no. Filowich with the defensive rebounds. Kernahan push up the floor. Boulanger lobs it underneath, and a tug of war is won by Farwell on the steal. Dodig up the floor. Ben Edward thought about it, driving in now. Up and under, sealed off, and they're going to call 3 seconds in the key. Wesmen played pretty effective defense there. Pace of this game, Roseanne, continues to be tremendous.
Yes, very much. And now we can see that full court pressure from Ryerson. But you could see that in the last couple possessions, the Rams didn't use a dribble in offense. They didn't need to. All they needed to do is move the ball and find the open player. So for Ben Edwards to get into the key and not find a player, I'm not very surprised.
Great pass down low by Filowich to Duncan, and she scores two. And all of a sudden, Jillian Duncan has become an effective weapon off the bench. Up the floor, Miljevic with a right baseline jumper, and the Rams always, Roseanne, seem to have an answer.
Yes, and that's exactly number 12's shot. She's not really a three-point shooter, but if you leave her open for a pull-up baseline with her right hand, she'll be able to make it.
weaving her way along the baseline and getting fouled on the play. Filowich, and boy, the Rams are making her work hard for her points and opportunities.
Yes, definitely hard for Filowich to get the ball. She's someone who has very good ball handling. She can get the ball at the three-point line, she can get it at a short corner or the elbow, but I believe that if she can get it off of the low post, it's going to be way more efficient for her team.
So Filowich. Second shot awaiting from the line. 2 out of 2 for Filowich. And if Winnipeg wants to climb their way back into this game, they're going to need their UBC transfer and star. A steal for Nikiasi, and she misses the shot, gets her own rebound. Can't get that one to go either. Just bad luck for Nikiasi, who did everything right. Deborah Kayasi, third year forward. All 15 players on Winnipeg are from Manitoba, with 12 of them being from Winnipeg themselves. Truly a local flavor to the team. Stolen away, Winnipeg starting to use their defense, but then the quick hands of Owasu able to knock the ball out of bounds. Winnipeg trying to force a momentum shift. Here's Kiana Giles. Filowich just beyond the right elbow. They double team her. And a foul will be called against the Rams. So Roseanne, the double team on Filowich has been effective, but seems to be a few too many fouls for the Rams on her.
Yes, very aggressive. You don't necessarily want to go for the foul, but you want to, make it hard for her to not only not get the ball, but as soon as she gets it, it's very hard to make a pass.
Beautiful drive by Kiana Giles. Rams 48, Winnipeg 38. Winnipeg slowly using their defense to create some offense. Wyesu works it to the left side. Dodig screened off, but look at the shot by Wyesu. She buries a three-pointer, and again, the Rams have the answer. Hezekiah stripped away. Mirvajevic with the steal, 2-on-1 coming back. Hall lost it, and then the whistle is blown. It was a 2-on-1 with Hall and Jones. It looked like there was a foul called. It was out of bounds. Dodig set to inbound the ball for the Rams. Winnipeg sets up in that zone. Wyesu just hit a three. It's a Jones screen to use. 10 on the shot clock. Dodig turning the corner. Jumper is up and it's no good. Offensive rebound by Jones. Foul called on the floor. And the Rams, Roseanne, are doing the little things you need to do to be successful in championship games.
They make it hard on Winnipeg in all aspects, right? Nothing easy on the offensive side, and going after every rebound.
Back-to-back three-pointers for Wyesu, and it's a 16-point lead for the Rams. Kernahan, Langer pulls it back. Hezekiah down low. Filowich, that's where she needs to get to. 2 easy points. Still Rams by 14. Dodig to the right side. Hall Dodig, wide open right, baseline jumper. And if you give it to her, Roseanne, she'll drop it like that.
Yes, and she loves the mid-range. She's a good three-point shooter as well, and she loves to pull up. She's very effective on the offensive side.
Filowich with the handoff for Kiana Giles. Kernahan, Filowich, another foul called down low as the Rams were defending Filowich. And how about Wiesu, Roseanne? Back-to-back threes.
Yes, and the last one, very contested. But again, I go back to that confidence I talked about earlier on. If you believe that your shot is going to go in, you have a higher percentage chance of it going in.
Kernahan left it hanging on the rim, out of bounds to Winnipeg. 13 on the shot clock for them to work with. Boulanger on the inbounds. Hezekiah's been quiet in the third quarter. And that one was way off. Out of bounds to the Rams. Dodig. Ben Edwards. Hall will work it around. Miljevich. Dodig, 10 on the shot clock. They'll dump it to the back door. Great defensive play made by Giles. Hezekiah with the push. Boulanger down low to Filowich. Out of the double team, she looks for the open player. It's Giles. Hezekiah lost it. They scramble for the ball. Rams can hold for the last shot. Back up the floor. Farwell, stolen away. And a desperation heave is off. 3 quarters in the books from the Athletics and Recreation Complex in Queens. Are the Rams 10 minutes away from their first ever bronze baby? They lead by 16. We're back with the U Sports Women's Basketball Championship Final on CBC.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
This quarter of U Sports Basketball is brought to you by Ce quart de basketball vous est présenté par Wilson, le ballon officiel de U Sport, U Sports Official Basketball.
Rams outscored the Wesmen 22-14. Roseanne in the third quarter. What did you see from the Rams that allowed them to pull away a bit more?
Composure, confidence, pushing the ball, not being afraid to shoot the three. A lot of things. They are playing very well.
And for the Wesmen, 10 points or 10 minutes away, 16 points down. What do you think they have to do?
Well, what we just saw, I mean, it's not over yet. 16 points. We've seen it before. It's doable, but it's the pressure that they're having trouble to deal with defensively. They're usually 80 points a game team. Now they only have 40 after a third quarter.
Fierce, hard collision landed a couple of players on the floor. Kiana Giles up for Winnipeg. She was kind of at the bottom of that collision. Rams will inbound the ball. Winnipeg will check in Wombajimana. Inbounds, three-pointer. No good. Rebound up. Wombijana, pull up, jumper, and there's a foul away from the ball with a collision. It looked like between Giles and Giles, Kiana and Kia, the sisters involved under the basket. Foul was against the Rams. Kia. Ezakawa almost up and down. Ulanger. Filowich, high screen. Pulls up, shot, no. And Melvajevich with the rebound, up the floor. They skip it across. In the corner, it's been there all evening long. Farwell for three. The lean teen. But the Rams know as well as anybody, they came back from 22 down against Brock at this point in the fourth quarter when they played in the Critelli Cup and won in overtime. So they know not to let up. Wiesu, kick out, another three. That one's a bit too strong from Farwell. Element of frustration in the game. Ulanger tries to answer with a three, and that is off. It's a 19-point deficit, Roseanne, as we take a look at the Rams offense.
It is. You know, like the last couple of possessions were all right, but yet they're going and shooting mid-range instead of trying to get inside the key and drawing a foul, so at least they get to the free throw line. We'll see. Yes, they still have 8 minutes to come back from a 19-point deficit.
And Edwards' three is off, but an offensive rebound by Farwell. Fresh 14 for the Rams. Driving in, no, that doesn't work for Ben Edward. Kernahan up, Kiana Giles spots up, three-pointer, and that's off. And that's been the story, unfortunately, for Winnipeg's outside shooting, Roseanne. Getting some good looks, just not able to find the range. Melvajevich in the corner, Dodig for three! And the lead is 22 with 7 minutes and 10 seconds and running to go in the fourth quarter.
That was a great play by Ryerson, a typical baseline runner against a 2-3 zone for an open shot.
Kernahan's able to drive and score two for the Wesmen, but the mountain is a 20-point mountain for them to climb. In the corner, Melvajevich, kick out into the hands, Dodig. In the corner, Wiesu for three. It is good, and bring out the umbrellas. It is raining threes at the Athletics and Recreation Complex, and it's the Rams who are creating and delivering them. Filowich peeking behind the screen is Giles. Tough fadeaway, doesn't go for Wombajimana. Push up the floor. Wyesu. Two for the Rams. And you start, Roseanne, to get a sense that the mountain for Winnipeg will be too tough to climb.
Yes, and you can feel it on the court already with turnovers and not playing as aggressive on the defensive side as we've seen these past 3 quarters. But the Rams are really doing a good job at moving the ball. They don't even need to use a dribble. It's pass for an open shot, baseline runner. They're finding an open shot at the elbow, and they are in control, and they're playing very well.
Some sad news hit the U Sports community earlier this year when Veronique Laberge, who was only 35 years old, passed away from breast cancer. She was the sports information director at the University of Quebec at Montreal and was also our U Sports French analyst at these championships for 10 years. We extend our sympathies towards the Laberge family and all of her friends and the basketball community. And with that, you can donate now at shootforthecure.ca. That website is ready to go and ready to accept your donations in order to help cancer research. And as we come out of the timeout, Carly Clark, Roseanne, is not coaching like she has a 25-point lead. She's intense like it's a close game or a tie game.
Yes, and it's the way to go because this is also a learning experience for the people that will be back next year. Correct? So you can also try new things. So they have that experience in the bag for future years.
So out of the timeout, it is the Rams with the basketball, and they have salted much of this game away here in the fourth quarter with their three-point shooting. Wyesu faking a three, kicks it out, up top they go. Three-pointer this time by Farwell is short. Scramble for the rebound, and Kernahan's able to get it over. Kernahan guarded by Kaylee Hall. A Filowich screen to work with. Hezekiah, Filowich backing in, into her office. Can't get that one to work though. And the Rams come back up. Very comfortable. They became the #1 seed coming into this tournament when they beat Brock in the Critelli Cup final. They are looking to run the table as a Jones jumper is an air ball and out of bounds and complete a dream undefeated season. And they're 4.5 minutes away from potentially accomplishing that. Filowich will bring it up. Here's Hezekiah. A quiet game for Hezekiah, who's been so brilliant for the Wesmen. She's guarded by Farwell. Filowich drops shoulder, goes to the reverse, hanging on the rim, and they'll get a foul underneath. It'll go against the Rams.
It will, and that's what you need to do for Winnipeg, right? Really going after all those rebounds. And that's what it will provoke fouls because the Rams are very aggressive under the rim.
Boulanger to inbound the ball. They'll call a foul against Dodig as she was trying to guard Kernahan. Still not in the penalty. Three-pointer on the inbounds is no good. That was Boulanger who tried it. Driving in, Jones, jumper right baseline. A bit strong, and Hezekiah with the rebounds. Kernahan, a deep three. And that one is no good, and this time it looks like they got the foul. It'll go against Winnipeg. And Mervaljevic will do the inbounding honors. The Rams took it to the Wesmen from the outset, and they just kept on pouring it on as they go inside, and the shot is up, and it's no good from Ben Edward. We approach 3 minutes to go. Filowich with the screen jumper, and Hezekiah hits that jumper, but it's still a 23-point bulge for the Rams. Jamal Ben Edwards. Michaela Dodig with a runner, no. Out of bounds, it will remain with the Rams. Inbound to Jones. She'll back in Filowich and lose it. Now, Roseanne, Winnipeg at times has played some very strong defense. They just haven't been able to generate offense from it, have they?
Exactly. They weren't able, to take advantage of any offensive transition, and that might have to do with the speed from Ryerson. They are smaller, but they are fast.
Mervaljevic with the foul. Filowich, who will end her brilliant career here this afternoon, on the line. First team All-Canadian, averaged a double-double. A three-time first or second team All-Canadian when she was at UBC, as we'll get another whistle and the ball over to the Wesmen, with Hezekiah stepping to the line to shoot two. And Filowich stepping off the floor for perhaps the last time in her brilliant career, Roseanne. Can't say much more about this player, can you?
No, she's great. She's probably disappointed, obviously, with the results today, but it doesn't take away from what she did this year. And Athlete of the Year, she was averaging over 18 points a game with all those rebounds and everything else. It's 11 rebounds and 3 assists throughout the season. That's impressive.
The other fifth-year senior was just on the foul line. Faith Hezekiah, her brilliant career also coming to a close. Here in the final, another three-pointer. That time it was Giles. And the Rams just keep on pouring in the threes on their way to a national championship. Porco spots up for three. She's just checked into the game. It's no good. Everybody else for Winnipeg eligible to return for a fifth year should they choose. Ulanger, Van Dyck, Giles, all fourth-year athletes. A drive in, a couple of opportunities for the Rams, no good, and Porco with the push. For the Rams, it's Dodig, who will graduate 5 years of basketball as a champion. A lot of fourth-year athletes with decisions to make. This Rams team looks like they could be around, Roseanne, for a while. And I know you're sorry to hear that, as you're the coach in Ottawa.
Exactly, but she's a great athlete to play against. She's playing the game the right way, right? She's an athlete. She's defensive player almost of the year. She will be in the future years. You cannot be mad at those type of athletes, even when you're coaching against them.
Kayasi scored 2 for Winnipeg. We saw Michaela Dodig, the fifth-year center, leaving the court. A three-pointer is up and it's no good. We're inside a minute to go here. And you can see the blue and yellow dotting the front 4, 5, or 6 rows here at the Athletics and Recreation Complex. They are poised to celebrate. Hezekiah is going to stay until the last minute. Turnaround jumper, no good from Funk. Ben Edward up the floor. The handoff, Bailey into the game. There's a block. 3 on the shot clock. Is there one more basket for the Rams? No. Shot clock is off. We're inside 10 seconds to go. The Rams fans rise as one. And for the first time in school history, the Bronze Baby will reside at the Mattamy Athletic Center. On the campus at Victoria Street, the Rams are national champions. They beat the Winnipeg Wesmen 70-48. And those smiles, Roseanne, and the sisters hugging, Kiana Giles and Kia Giles. Mixed feelings, I'm sure, for Kia. What a great moment between the two sisters. But those smiles, Roseanne, are everything from the Rams.
They are, and what a great moment for the sisters, like you just mentioned. They both decided to transfer, but they both made it to the gold final. How exciting is this? But Ryerson, well-deserved. They've been in control this whole season, literally undefeated from the moment they started playing this year all the way to the final game of this women's basketball championship.
They were 4-0 in the preseason, 14-0 in the regular season, and in the playoffs, they defeated Queens, they defeated Carleton, they defeated Brock twice, both of those games in overtime. They defeated UPEI, and in the final here, they defeated the Wesmen, and this really was a command performance by this Rams team. I don't want to say a perfect game, but it was pretty darn close in terms of how they executed, Roseanne, their game plan.
I do believe, and we're just about to see, yes, Carly, Coach of the Year with a bucket of water, right? It's a good thing there's not a game after this one, but well-deserved for Carly Clark, Coach of the Year, and you can tell how much she's appreciated by her student athletes.
In her 9th year, it was a silver medal for the Rams back in 2016 and a 7th place finish in 1920. In their 5th appearance, they strike gold. As you can see, everybody hugging and celebrating on the floor. And for the Wesmen, it'll wait another year for this outstanding program. But boy, this was a team that came in and they played absolutely spectacular basketball, Roseanne. They defeated Laval. They overcame the home crowd against Queens last night. They just ran into a juggernaut in the Rams in the end.
Yes, and you can tell that they are well coached. And the Rams had the opportunity this year to prepare against teams with strong presence inside the key. When I think about it, Carleton, the Ravens, they didn't have a good post. The University of Ottawa, without me being biased, had some great posts, and they got prepared to play defensively, to play against a team like Winnipeg, whose athlete of the year is usually very dominant inside the key.
Kanika Pinge Giles, the older sister of Kia Giles, won the U Sports Player of the Year in 2016. And she will get to celebrate with one sister, Kia, and then we'll get to commiserate with another sister in Kiana as the teams are lined up and awards will be handed out. The Nike Players of the Game will be awarded, along with the tournament MVP and All-Star games. An All-Star team, sorry. Kiana Giles will get the player of the game for the Wesmen. Her brilliant career has one more year of eligibility. She's an education major and no doubt an outstanding role model for anybody she will be involved with in the educational system. What a player. And how about it? Rachel Farwell, Roseanne, really set the tone for the Rams here this afternoon with her three-point shooting, didn't she?
Yeah, she was the player she was all year, with a very quick release, very hard to defend. She's confident in her shot, and she started the game. She's the one that set the tone for the Rams with a three-point shot, and I believe she started the game with 5 or 7 points. She was ready for this one.
So Kiana Giles and Rachel Farwell are your Nike Players of the Game. Tournament MVP and a little bit of hardware. And I know, obviously, being coach of Ottawa, this is one of your strong rivals in the Rams, but you have to be happy, Roseanne, to see this championship and the Bronze Baby reside with a team from your conference, the OUA East. It shows the strength of basketball in Ontario, doesn't it?
It does. It does. To have 3 teams from Ontario in semifinals, it says a lot about the province. And again, not to be too biased, but Ontario East was very strong this year, and I'm very proud and very happy for the Rams, and especially for Carly Clark for coaching.
I'd like to argue in favor of the OUA West, Roseanne, as I'm affiliated calling games at McMaster. But yes, the East, I mean, if you emerge from the East, you were a special team because you had the Rams here, you had the Gales here, your team was strong, Carleton Ravens were strong, York challenged, Laurentian challenged. There was a lot of strength in this conference, wasn't there?
There was a very tough year. Our schedule, personally, at the University of Ottawa, was very tough the second semester, playing Carleton twice, Ryerson twice, Queens twice. But I mean, that's just good experience for next year for the people that are going to remain on the roster.
Michaela Dodig, part of the All-Star team. You saw Keelan Filowich, Faith Hezekiah, and Jama Bin Edward, boy, another player who set the tone with her three-point shooting here this afternoon, an all-round great play. And how about Jama Bin Edward winning the MVP of the tournament? What a moment for her. Fourth-year eligibility, politics and governance student from Waterloo. Outstanding, and she earned it, Roseanne. She earned it.
She did. She did. And she also recovered from ACL surgery 2 years ago. And for her to come back this strong after a traumatizing event, she was perfect on the offensive side, perfect on the defensive side. She brings that energy, that presence on both sides of the floor. And she's very hard to defend, obviously.
Kiana Giles. Silver medals now being awarded to the Wesmen. Martia Wumba-Jimana, and there's Anna Kernahan, rarely left the floor. Keelan Filowich, we've talked about her a lot. I have to think she's on a national radar, potentially. Erlanger. Strong tournament for her. Mick Funk, Faith Hezekiah. Boy, she left everything on the floor, didn't she?
She did a great tournament, and you know, it's never fun to lose, and especially it's never fun to lose in finals. But these are the best two teams in the country. So although it is heartbreaking to not finish with a gold medal, they should still be very happy with what they've accomplished to get all the way to the gold medal final.
It was Deborah Kiasi. This is Priscilla Sanusi and Abby Benson. The future, those last four players that are getting their silver medals. Some of the support staff. And a beautiful dog as well. Maybe there's a silver medal for the dog too. Tanya McKay, Roseanne, been here since 1996, 1997. She runs an outstanding program, doesn't she?
She did something special. Like I mentioned yesterday, I think I'm going to try and have a talk with her and see how she convinced all those transfers to go to Winnipeg. But nonetheless, it's maybe not the result that she was hoping for today's game. But she should exit this gym with a head high and already think about next year how great they will be, even after losing great athletes. They will still remain very strong.
The glory days for that program was in the mid-90s, 3 straight gold medals from 93 to 95 and an 88-game winning streak under Coach Tom Kendall. Glory days are right back with the Wesmen, no doubt. The gold medal handed over to the Rams. Ben Edwards. There's Marin Scott, you talked about with the knee injury. Kia Giles. Haley Fedek, and there's Rachel Farwell. Somebody we didn't talk about as much, but hit a number of big shots. How about Eve Wayesu, number 9 for the Rams? Again, was one of these great shooters that came out and really put the pressure on the Wesmen.
She did, and it was a team effort again today. It makes a difference when you reach the national championship. You can't really rely just on one player, one athlete, and Ryerson, the Rams proved it today. They have an excellent point guard, a great leader. She also loves playing defense. You have a lot of athletes that love playing on both sides of the floor, and that matters.
Eleanor Jones, number 11, Steph Melvaljevich were charged with having to defend Keelan Filowich all afternoon long. Again, more of the future of the Rams. Tia Messier, out of Markham, a transfer from Long Island University. Jamila Christian, part of the future. And then the support staff, the assistant coaches, Sherwin Ben, Madim Levin, Keenan Benarosh, Jason Seeley, Ben White, Iman Hansen, the mental performance coach, the student athletic therapist, Kia Halsall, Yurav Naik, Shay Deansall, the lead assistant coach, and of course, Carly Clark, the outstanding coach. And you know, Carly quite well from your battles, and coaching in Canada is in good hands with good young coaches like yourself and those like Carly Clark as well, isn't it?
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Carly Clark, who is a big inspiration for me, and I've watched her coach for many years now, and I'm still learning all the way to this day, and I'll keep learning from her. So yes, Canada basketball is under good hands with her.
Sandy Poitier was the brilliant coach of this team for so long, from 92, 93, all the way to 2010. Charles Kissy came in for 2 years as an interim coach. Carly Clark took over 2012-13 and has led this program to prominence. And take a look. They will hoist the bronze baby. Marin Scotton, Jama Bin Edward, Stefania Mirvaljevic. The banner will reside at the Mattamy Athletic Center. And the Ryerson Rams are the women's champions of Canada for youth sports in the Final 8, and they do it in grand style, undefeated. And what a beautiful trophy that is, Roseanne. It's what every player plays for, isn't it?
It is. It's the major reward at the end of a crazy year, like I mentioned earlier. That's the goal for most teams in this league, right? It's the biggest reward. It's the biggest prize you can get at the end of the season. And although they are student athletes, they are desiring to finish and win the gold medal and hold this trophy up in the air.
Pictures being taken at center court. You can see fans in the background. Roseanne Joly, a pleasure to work with you during this tournament, a pleasure to really sit at the learning tree and learn about coaching and analyzing the game. Overall, what did you think of this tournament?
I thought it showed great basketball in Canada. I mean, it was a tough year this year, a lot of up and down. Not all provinces went through the same struggle with COVID and pausing the season right in the middle of the season for 6 weeks. But I think it showed that we were ready to get back on the court after a year off, and it didn't really affect the type of playing that we have here in Canada.
Memories that will last forever. They'll be talking about this down on the campus and at the Mattamy Athletic Center, and they'll still be talking about it 5, 10, 15 years down the road. For the first time in school history, the Rams are national champions. What a tournament. What a way to close out the weekend here on CBC Sports. I'm Steve Clark. It was a pleasure calling so many great games in this tournament. There were overtimes, there was last-minute drama, and then there were the Rams. 22-point winners over the Wesmen, who will claim a well-earned silver medal. For Coach Roseanne Joly, who was the analyst, for everybody associated at CBC Sports and U Sports, and all the great people at Queen's University who put this tournament together, I'm Steve Clark saying good evening from the Athletics and Recreation Complex. The Rams are hoisting the bronze baby, and you've been watching the U Sports Women's Final 8 championship game on CBC Sports.